Good afternoon, all my respected participant friends, all teacher friends, all researchers. Friends, today is 15 August, and in this auspicious moment of Independence Day, I wish you all very happy Independence Day. At the same time, paying homage to all the great warriors who sacrificed their lives for the independence of the country and who still are fighting for the sovereignty and sovereignty of the nation, means of India, as well as for the peace of living of all the citizens. We must have to pay homage. We are to pay respect to all those people. Friends, today we are to go back to, this chapter which I started to discuss on the, on 21st 6 and 2020 we had discussion, and thenceforth we didn't get time to continue class on this particular topic. So friends, in the last class, especially class number 37, which was conducted, which we had on 21st 6 2020, we discussed about the different factors which are responsible for social sciences, and I hope you will be able to remember all those important factors which are much more influential in the process of social science or social sciences. Parallel to this, you have come to know how, because of the ongoing pandemic, that is COVID-19, throughout the globe, how societies have been changing, and how different segments of social life of different parts of different nations have been changing so much rapidly. You have seen it. So friends, today we are to discuss about positivism, and we must have to keep link at the time of discussing positivism the concept of sociology. At the same time, we are to study or discuss or keep link with another most important parameter, that is research. So we are to study, our prime concern of discussion is positivism, and for discussing or for making the concept of positivism so much clear, we are to discuss about sociology, and for discussing both sociology and positivism, we are to discuss about the new development in the field of research, particularly in the field of research in social sciences as well as in science. Friends, human society never remains in static position. Society is a very much dynamic and changing concept, because we, the human beings and other living beings, not only we the human beings, but also the other living animals or beings of this universe constitute or construct or form society or societies. And there are definitely purposes for forming society or societies, and the basic purpose of formation or constitution of social life or society is the safety and peace of our life, safety and security as well as peace of lives of the social units or the animals or human beings who constitute society or societies. Let us go back to the next slide, so that society is a very broad concept on success of life and all activities basically demands proper knowledge of society and social behavior of man. By studying sociology, people can select any of the areas of professions as own professional area for which day by day the chance globalized and diversified social and world order, the demand of sociology has gradually been increasing. Friends, there are many jobs are there in the field of sociology. So friends, once we study or once we try to know the job opportunities in the field of sociology, then we can come to know that there are so many important segments where we can get engagement. Man is if we discuss about human society, then we see that man basically constitutes society for the satisfaction of own interest of life. And friends, animals also constitute society for the safety, means for the satisfaction of own interest of life. So there are so many aims and objectives are linked with the process of formation of society. And once we try to know or understand the basic reasons or causes of forming society, then we find that formation of society, with the process of formation of society, the satisfaction of life needs or requirements, as well as stability, peace and prosperity of life or life processes do have close linkage. Friends, once we come back to human society, then we see that man's behavior is not so much static, and it is very much difficult to study human behavior, because once we compare the behavioral pattern of human being or human organisms, we see that in comparison to the behavioral patterns of all other living organisms or beings of this universe, man's behavior is very much critical and complex as well as dynamic. And the reason behind such complexity of behavior is the complex functioning of human nervous system, because human nervous system controls the behavioral pattern of every living organism or all living organisms of this universe. Let us go back to the next slide. Yes, considering sociology as one of the important areas of focal importance, because we are discussing about positivism, and just at the beginning of the class I told you that our prime concern of discussion is not only the broad discussion of positivism but also the discussion of sociology, because once we are to discuss positivism, we must have to discuss sociology. And the basic concern of discussing both positivism and sociology is to know about the new developments in the field of research. The academicians and researchers have been paying special attentions for the development of many new ideas and thoughts for proper academic and practical life-oriented discussions. Positivism, because we had made so many classes, but up till now, the concrete concept of positivism we have not got. But today, we are to come to the concrete concept or concrete definition of positivism. Positivism is one of such areas which have been paying special attention towards the study of social behavior and all other social phenomena from the purview of the available methods of the natural sciences. In sociology, positivism is the view which believes that social phenomena such as human social behavior and, let us go back, how societies are structured ought to be studied using only the methods of the natural sciences. So friends, for knowing about the process of constitution or formation of society, we are to study, we are to take, or we are to depend on the process and methodologies of the natural sciences. And without knowing or without having proper concept concerning to the methods of natural sciences, we never can study society in scientific manner. And once we fail to study human society or societies of different living organisms of this universe, we never can understand behavioral manifestations, differences of behavioral manifestations of different animals. So friends, with the help of the methods of natural sciences, we are to study society. Thus, positivism is a view. Now let us come to the concrete concept. Positivism, once we say, is a view about the appropriate methodology of social science. So what is positivism? It's a view about the appropriate methodology of social science, emphasizing empirical observation, means experimental observation of all social phenomena for the realization of the realities concerning to the phenomena. So friends, without depending on empirical observation, without depending on experimental observation, or without depending on experimental methodology, we never can understand the realities behind the different phenomena or events, things, beings of society. Empirical observation, what does it mean? Has been associated with empiricism. That is what is empiricism? Because once we say as empirical observation, then we must have to come to the word that is empiricism. And the term empiricism is the view that knowledge is primarily based on experience via the five senses, and it is opposed to metaphysics, that is the branch of philosophy dealing with the nature of existence, truth and the knowledge, or roughly the philosophical study of what, I will go to the next slide, next time, what is real on the grounds that metaphysical claims cannot be verified by sense experience or with the process of sense cognition. Let us go back to the earlier slide. So friends, once we are to discuss about empirical observation, because it has special importance in the field of research, we must have to understand the term empiricism. And empiricism is a view that knowledge is primarily based on experience via the five senses. In our earlier discussion, I told you that senses are the gateways of human learning. And in psychology, it is discussed that, particularly Edward Lee Thorndike, the great famous US psychologist, who has close linkage with the theory of connectionism. Theory of connectionism means S R connection equal B. S plus R equal B. Means when there is connectivity between a stimulus, then response results. And once we see the response, it is the simplest behavior of the living organism. So friends, in the field of learning, human physiology has special importance, because our senses, basically the five senses, we do have more than five senses. Psychologists have explained about more than 10 senses in present situation. But basically we do have five most important, you see, primary senses, that is the nose, the eyes, the tongue, the skin, the ears. These are the five sense organs of our body. And we keep contact with the universe with the help of the functioning of the sense organs, and that's why knowledge is totally, you see, physiological, basically in its initial stage. And empirical studies basically put importance on practical knowledge, knowledge with the contact of different stimuli of the universe with the help of the sense organs or senses of our body. So friends, there is another concept that is about metaphysics. Metaphysics, you see, doesn't believe in the first concept, that is, believe that metaphysics doesn't believe that knowledge be acquired only with the help of the five sense organs. Means the direct contact with which we acquire knowledge. But metaphysics believes beyond that. Let us go back to the next slide. So friends, as an important academic view for the study of social phenomena and the how of the structures of society, using the methods of natural sciences, Positivism was developed in the 19th century by Auguste Comte. He was born in 1798 and he died in 1857. And Auguste Comte is a French philosopher. And Comte in the 19th century developed the concept of positivism, who coined the term sociology. So, friends, once we are to know the term sociology, then we must have to go back to the great French philosopher, that is Auguste Comte, who coined the term sociology. Thus, Comte considered as the father of sociology, and he is regarded or considered as the father of sociology, he became interested in studying society. He witnessed the changes appeared as a result of the French Revolution and the Industrial Revolution. So friends, if we study the history of French Revolution, then how French Revolution brought tremendous changes to French society, you will come to know. And once you study Industrial Revolution, then also you will come to know how the process of industrialization bear definite, impact on the process of sense of society or senses of society. And Auguste Comte in 19th century, the great French philosopher, put importance in studying all these two great events, that is the impact of French Revolution as well as the industrial revolution in the process of social science. And today, if you come back, today's situation, 21st century situation, if you study the ongoing COVID-19 situation, then the impact of ongoing COVID-19 in the process of the changes of different parameters of human society, you will come to know. So friends, as a sociologist or as a scientist, you can continue or conduct research on different areas. Suppose from the parameter of economics, you can study the impact of COVID-19 on the economic processes of different nations of the globe. It's a broad area of research. Then you can study the impact of, human behavior, social behavior. Change of human social behavior or impact of COVID-19 on human social behavior, that can be a research area. Then you can study the political science from the point of view of political science. You can study the impact of COVID-19 in, emerging a new social order. Now you have come to know about between Israel and United Arab Emirates, there is good relationship. It has come to know to be the reality. How things are changing, why social order has been changing so much rapidly because of the impact of COVID-19. There is the pressure of China. With China there is Pakistan. And there was Soviet Russia. Russia is there and India is there, and thenceforth there is Israel and now the United States of America, and there is the good relationship, friendship. The treaty has been already signed just to settle all the most important or bitter relationship between the two nations, that is the United Arab Emirates as well as the Israel. So friends, Comte also studied the impact of industrial French Revolution and industrial revolution in the process of social science. By coining the term sociology, Comte has been treated as the father of modern sociology, means father of sociology, and he studied everything else. Let us go back to the next slide. Paid attention towards studying all aspects and areas from practical angles. By making thorough scrutiny of the social changes of different segments of human society because of the impact of French Revolution as well as Industrial Revolution, he reported so many good findings or so many very much practical findings. The France and the industrial revolutions brought tremendous changes towards all parameters of life and society, just like the COVID-19. And Cote observed everything very minutely for presenting his views before the economic community of the world by coining his concept relating to the domain of sociology for studying all social phenomena from new view angles and points. During the French Revolution, which began in 1789, so we are to go back to 1789, France's class system changed dramatically and many new changes relating to governance of society and social mottos came to the front line, and Cote, as the first philosopher of science in the modern sense of the term, paid special attention towards all the aspects with new look. So French Revolution as well as Industrial Revolution, you see, drew the attention of Auguste Comte, the great French philosopher, and he studied everything, all the parameters from practical standpoint, and he helped humanity to know so many new things concerning to the, you see, realities behind the process of formation of human society. And today also you have seen so many new changes will appear not only in the field of, in any one segments of our society, in academic area, in economic area, in political relationship area, in cultural area, in human psychology area, in human connectivity area, in human customs and tradition, in business area, everywhere changes have taken place because of the, you see, because of the attack of the smallest or the minuscule unseen virus, which is being named by WHO as COVID-19. So friends, let us go back to the, so as to show the society, especially the economic community, the way of studying all the social phenomena from all new directions. And thus, positivism as a way of studying all social behavior from the paradigm of the methods of the natural sciences is one of such new developments, and this view started to influence the researchers for changing their attitudes and way for studying diverse social issues and problems concerning to the changed demand of society and economic arenas. So friends, how positivism, you see, the concept of positivism was emerged, we have come to know. And what was the demand for emerging, or of what was the demand of emerging the concept of positivism, we have come to know. People became compelled to study every social phenomena as well as all social phenomena from new perception, from the practical standpoint of life, because of the drastic change which were brought forward towards human society and life by the French Revolution as well as Industrial Revolution. Let us go back to the next slide. After the appearance of the concept of positivism, many contemporary thinkers involved in diverse economic and scholastic activities in the economic paradigm criticize it by placing their views relating to the difficulties of applying all methods closely linked with empirical observation. As per their claim, all data collected for the solutions of diverse research problems are not empirically observable for the solution of all types of subjects problems for reporting the findings concerning to the realities. So friends, there was contradiction concerning to the methodology to be followed for finding out or reporting the results of study of different problems, means for reporting the realities behind different problems. And let us go back to the next slide. Thus, the viewpoint of studying all social phenomena from the field of the available methods of the natural sciences was briefly referred to as positivism. So the concept of positivism is a very broad concept which covers all the methodologies or methods of natural sciences for the study of different phenomena, for the establishment of realities behind different phenomena of the universe. by the thinkers basically refers to the school of research thought that sees observable evidence as the only form of defensible scientific findings. By considering all the strands of positivism, the experts working in the field of philosophy, sociology, and academic studies developed the terms positivist epistemology, which assumes that only facts derived from the scientific method can make legitimate knowledge claims for unfolding the realities concerning to different situations, events, matters, phenomena, etc. In the chance situation of the knowledge domain, particularly in the domain of philosophy and social, let us see, sciences, many new concepts and ideas came to the forefront. As for example, in the domain of philosophy, concepts like realism appeared and the philosophers started to consider the supporter of positivism or the positivist as realist because they tried to see or they basically supported scientific or empirical observation or direct observation with the senses of human body. After detailed scrutiny, the philosophers and sociologists started to draw the little differences between the positivist and the realist. Positivist and the realist. Considering all the facts, the philosophers and the sociologists tabled their views by pointing that the difference between the two lines is that the post-positivist critical realist recognizes that all observation is fallible and has error and that all theory is revisable. No theory is permanent. Theories are to be revised as per the chance situation of society as well as chance demand of human life. Let us go back to the next slide. In other words, the critical realist is critical of our ability in knowing reality behind phenomenon with certainty. Both the lines share the beliefs about the nature of knowing and the reality with some assumptions. By considering the assumptions and beliefs of the positivist paradigm and realist ontology, we can report that expert in the fields assumes that there are real world objects apart from the human knower. In other words, there is an objective reality behind the phenomena and we can report such realities behind phenomena objectively, not subjectively. You are a subject. Once you try to evaluate or determine the influence of morality, you become subjective. Corruption is a concept where there is always subjective analysis and interpretation is there. Concerning to humanity, there is subjective analysis or subjective analysis are there. But so far the other problems are there. Change of climate cannot be subjective. It is to be objective. It should be the establishment of realities or reasons for the drastic changes of human environment must be quite objectively brought forward towards the knowledge paradigm or knowledge dome. Let us go back to the next one. Going back to the domain of all new theories relating to the understanding of the world phenomena, we can very easily comment that positivism is a philosophical theory starting that certain knowledge or positive idea is based on natural phenomena, and for knowing their properties and relations, we are to study everything considering this fact. Thus, in all fields of concern, information derived from sensory experience, interpreted through reason and logic, forms the exclusive source of all certain knowledge concerning to the realities behind phenomena. Let us go back to the next slide. In the sense of time and the gradual increase of acceptance of the new ideas, it has been highlighted by the thinkers and specialities that positivism and interpretivism are the two basic approaches to research methods in sociology for studying most of the social phenomena from realistic standpoints. Positivists prefer scientific quantitative methods, while interpretivists prefer humanistic qualitative methods for studying the phenomena and report the realities for mass acceptance. Friends, you have got two methods concerning to here: quantitative method, scientific quantitative method, while interpretivists prefer humanistic qualitative method. Means one is qualitative and that is humanistic qualitative, and another is quantitative where we are to quantify data. Data means piece of information concerning to something. Means data means simple information, and data means with the help of statistical measure we try to find out, give meaning or put meaning of different data we collect for research purpose. So friends, two research most important methods we have come to know about. One is quantitative method and another is humanistic qualitative methods. So friends, these are the two most important methods which do have close linkage with the concept of positivism, and positivism has close concept with realism, and all these do have link with sociology, concept of sociology. So friends, for understanding positivism, we are to understand not only sociology but also psychology and all other most important branches which are operating in human society of sciences for the study of different phenomena of the universe. So friends, now if you come back to the present situation, then too you will come to know it's the whole universe has already been changed and drastic changes have taken place in different fields. The concept of online class has also come forward, and it has become accepted concept, or the change situation has compelled us in a sense to, charge for new approaches as well as means and mediums so that we can transact, for the continuation of human transaction of knowledge and information. So friends, human life has diverse demand, and such kind of diversity basically depends on the chance parameter of time. And without understanding the demand of chance parameter of time, we never can understand, the methodology or the methods of research, and we never can develop new methods of study. Why realism? Why realism emerged? If you are to study, then we are again to study about the impact of the two world wars, that is World War I first and World War II. So during that time, pragmatism also developed in the United States of America. John Dewey, the great American educationist who wrote the masterpiece and which was published in 1918, that is the Democracy and Education. So friends, new concepts are emerging because of the demand of human life, because of the chance pressure of time, and as the COVID-19 has pressurized human society as a whole, including the knowledge dome or domain, we are bound to charge for new methods of research so as to establish all the realities so that we can help humanity survive without mass collapse or without destruction. Thank you so much for today. I will discuss the other part in the coming classes. Study well and prepare well. Thank you so much.